Sure, one last kick. This is gonna be it. This is the moment. Vicario kicks this. And Liverpool are there. Liverpool are Premier League champions. And there it comes. Crystal Palace, for the very first time in their history, are FA Cup winners. Oh, he's found the net. Oh, what a goal. Kvaratskhelia is through, wants to add a fourth, and does so. Ahmad, oh my goodness me. That is absolutely unbelievable. Rice again. Oh! You thought he couldn't beat the first one. He's gone and battered it. Another whip ball in. The header is in by Virgil van Dijk. Incredible. A very good afternoon. Welcome to Premier League Live for our Sunday doubleheader this afternoon. And first, we start at the City Ground, where relegation threatened Nottingham Forest welcome Champions League chasing Liverpool this afternoon. Amongst that, two other 2 o'clock kickoffs as Crystal Palace welcome Wolves. And, of course, a trip to the Stadium of Light for Fulham as they face Sunderland. Those are the 2 o'clockers. But our big game, our game of the week, is at 4:30 as we watch the North London derby from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as Spurs welcome Arsenal. And it is a lot of headlines across the weekend so far, including the fact that Manchester City, with their 2-1 win over Newcastle last night, have closed the gap to the league leaders Arsenal to just 2 points before the Gunners play a little later on. As well as that, Chelsea failed to really take grip of the top 4 places after they dropped points at home to Burnley, so advantage Man United and Liverpool. But on top of that, there is so much action at the bottom half of the table as well, with West Ham failing to close the gap to Forest. The goal difference, it's still 2 points after their draw with Bournemouth last night. So Forest, if they can pull off an upset, can drag away from that bottom 3 positions and certainly give a bit of Spurs worry because they play a little later on as well, and they're not too far away from the relegation zone themselves. Elsewhere, Villa drew 1-1 with Leeds. Brentford were beaten 2-0 at home by Brighton as well yesterday afternoon. So 5 down, 5 to go, and 4 of which will take place today. We conclude our weekend as the Monday night action starts at the Hill Dickinson Stadium between Everton and Manchester United tomorrow night. But to the 2 o'clockers, and we actually have some news before we get to updating this game. The team news that dropped just an hour and 10 minutes ago. Florian Wirtz was in the Liverpool starting 11. We now believe that he has been replaced after an issue in the warm-up. Now, we haven't got full confirmation of that, but we do believe that Florian Wirtz is out of the Liverpool team and Curtis Jones will replace him. So that is the big news, and certainly not good news for Liverpool. But they'll have to fight on and have to play on without a man who's really hit form in Florian Wirtz. And Curtis Jones, who of course did play against Brighton in the FA Cup last week, comes into the side. Right, a quick look at this fixture, of course. Nottingham Forest against Liverpool. Actually, Forest have a good record against Liverpool in their recent meetings. They beat them 3-0 at Anfield earlier in the season. Back-to-back Anfield victories for Nottingham Forest is something that not many teams can say they've done. But when they met here last season, it finished 1-1. And Kostas Tsimikas whipping in for Diogo Jota to head past the Forest goalkeeper to level things for the Reds that night. But Nottingham Forest in a tricky position this season, as I said, just teetering above the relegation zone. And the Liverpool side have hit a better run of form than they'd been in the start of the year in the last few games. And feeling a little bit of confidence coming into this one. Let's have a look at the two teams then, and of course take into consideration that we actually haven't had time to change the graphic since the news came in about Florian Wirtz. So this is the team. Nottingham Forest start with Ortega in goal, Aina, Milenkovic, Murillo and Williams are the back four. Sangari and Anderson in midfield with Morgan Gibbs-White the captain in the 10. Hutchinson off the right, Hudson-Odoi off the left and Igor Jesus leads the Forest line. On the bench, Gunn, Murato, Jair, Ndoye, Yates, Mekati, Bakwa, Dominguez and Luca. Still no Chris Wood, of course, who's still out injured. Well, for Liverpool, Alisson starts in goal. Szoboszlai returns from suspension, so he starts at right back. Konate and Van Dijk are the centre-back partnership, with Kirkez starting at left back. Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister in midfield, with Wirtz now injured, so he's out, and Curtis Jones comes in, and a front three of Cody Gakpo, Mo Salah and Ugo Ekitike. On the bench for the travelling Liverpool players, Mamadashvili, Gomez, Robertson, Ramsey, not Jones now, Nyoni, Morrison, Chiesa and Rio Ngamoa. A Liverpool side looking to make the most of a tricky trip to Nottingham Forest, but a Forest side who desperately need points of their own to stave off relegation. Two sides with a lot to fight for as we enter the final hurdles of this season, but who will come up with the goods on the banks of the River Trent? It is Nottingham Forest against Liverpool. Kick-off at the City Ground is next. A very good afternoon. Welcome to Premier League Live for our first of two live watch-along commentaries of the afternoon. We'll keep you up to date with all four games that are underway in the Premier League right the way throughout the day, three of which kick off at 2 o'clock, including our feature game at the City Ground as Nottingham Forest welcome Liverpool. Alongside that, as I said, Crystal Palace take on bottom side Wolves, and Fulham head to Sunderland, who are looking to return to their unbeaten home form after they were beaten in their last home game by Liverpool, who went to the Stadium of Light and for the first team this season came away with victory. Nottingham Forest in their home strip, red shirts, white shorts. Liverpool in their away strip of white shirts, black shorts. And they get us underway at the City Ground right on the tick of 2 o'clock. And again, a day that Liverpool can really just add a little bit of pressure to those above them in terms of the race for the Champions League. Chelsea dropping points at home to Burnley yesterday afternoon, and Man United not playing until tomorrow when they head to Everton at the Hill Dickinson. If Liverpool can make a real indent on that top 5 positions and come away with victory here today, they can really put pressure on those two teams. They are competing for what seems like could be 2 spots, but is at the moment just the 1 spot for the Champions League places that is up for grabs. Although with Villa continually dropping points, who knows, more spots could open up. We are now underway, I believe, in all 3 of our 2 o'clockers, and we'll keep up to date with the scores elsewhere at Sellers Park and at the Stadium of Light. Did tell you anything that happens in those games? Here's Cody Gakpo. Now Konate. And of course, with Liverpool losing Florian Wirtz, who, as I said, he's hit a real good run of form and really, I think, choreographed that victory for Liverpool away at Sunderland. He was their best player in that night, and more often than not in recent weeks has been one of Liverpool's best players in their positive performances, but injured in the warm-up is a bit of a real blow for Liverpool, and a player who is starting to become integral to the way the team plays is not a positive to take into this one. But again, you have to take the rough with the smooth in the Premier League, and got to get on with it. And Curtis Jones steps up, and very capable Curtis Jones, we know that. We'll see how he performs this afternoon. Here's Virgil van Dijk. Oh, a sloppy pass there, gives it away to Hutchinson, who tries to feed it in behind for Igor Jesus. Mopped up by Konati. And now Soboslai in his own area. Feeds it out to Kirkez, who skips away from the pressure. Does the Hungarian. Now finds Jones. A late addition to the Liverpool lineup, who felt he was fouled there, but the referee said play on as Sangari hooks it in behind for Hudson-Odoi, who's got the better of his man. And Allison was needed. Hudson-Odoi almost giving Forest a really good chance right from the off here. Again, Liverpool sloppy in possession. Curtis Jones challenged by Sangari, not strong enough really. Beaten off the ball and then a through ball for the on-running Hudson-Odoi in behind Soboslai. He gets the better of him, Hudson-Odoi, and Allison needed inside 3 minutes here to give Liverpool a big stop. And Forest end up getting a goal, actually comes for a goal kick. Last touch off Hudson-Odoi there. Liverpool under pressure. And nicely picked up by Gravenberg to recycle the ball and try and swing it for Mo Salah, but undercooked it a little. Picked up by the former Liverpool player Nico Williams. He plays it to Hudson-Odoi. Down the left channel, not really had a chance to set the scene for this game too much. It's been a busy start here at the City Ground. And Liverpool just look to settle down again with Allison. Andy in the chat, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Great to have your company. Allison with a long ball, going towards Salah. Nicely shielded by Williams, with second ball picked up by Jones. Salah, Jones. Now back in field to Alexis McAllister. He will switch it out to the left, looking for Gakpo. Will have to chase, does well, keeps it in play. As Gakpo gives it back to Gravenberg. Now Kirkez. And back to Virgil van Dijk. Well, the worry will be that Forest won the ball back high up from the midfield that Curtis Jones gave away, and they were in within one pass. That's the continual vulnerability at times that we see from Liverpool from wide positions as they try and press here. And Jones forces a high clearance that Konati deals with and recycles. Back to Virgil van Dijk. Here's Soboslai. The sun shines down at the City Ground. Liverpool will be hoping the sun will be shining down on them this afternoon to get themselves to 3 points. That's a nice ball by Gakpo in behind for Kirkez, who chased it but was well beaten by the backtracking Hutchinson, who tracked them all the way. And that's nice from Forest. They break away with Elliot Anderson. Fed out to Hudson-Odoi down the left. Giving it a good go here, Nottingham Forest. Back to Anderson. Then again to Hudson-Odoi, who will whip it in. And a bit of a nervy header away there by Gravenberg. Didn't need to, his keeper was there on his own. It's going to be a corner. Liverpool a little nervous. Forest trying to apply a lot of pressure early doors here to Liverpool. 6 minutes in, and the home side trying to assert a bit of dominance. Corner delivered in from the right. Kirkez to clear. Right for the throw. And Vitor Pereira got off to a winning start in his first game as Forest boss in the Europa League in midweek. 3-0 win away at Fenerbahce. His first home game in charge. And actually, they make history this afternoon, Nottingham Forest, becoming the first side in Premier League history to have 4 permanent managers in one season. Nuno Espirito Santo, Ange Postecoglou, Sean Dyche, and now Vitor Pereira. Kirkez out-muscled this man and Hutchinson well there. Had no forward pass on, and he's trying to get it down the line, Kirkez. It goes out of play for a Forest throw, but did everything right there, Kirkez, but didn't have many options ahead of him to hold the ball up for Liverpool. Our referee this afternoon, Anthony Taylor. Our VAR is Paul Tierney. Here's Ola Aina. Hutchinson, reverse ball into Jesus, who left it for Gibbs White. Now back to Anderson. Down the left it comes to Hudson-Odoi. On the move again, Forest. Hudson-Odoi cuts it back to Sangari. He's trying to edge this space. Has to work it back to Aina. And now down the right comes Hutchinson. Looking for runners. Hutchinson cuts it back to Aina. Goes short. Gibbs-White. Moving it nicely here, Forest. Ball delivered in. Up and away by Van Dijk. And the clearance not going very far from Liverpool. So they're under pressure again. Williams trying to get the better of Salah, but Salah comes away with the possession and finds it back to Ryan Gravenberch. Again, it just seems like Liverpool are a little isolated when they have their defenders on the ball, and it's just kind of creating that separation. It's not allowing Liverpool to build up from the back. You just need to kind of settle a little bit. Forest have really not allowed them to have much confident possession on the ball in the first 8 minutes, albeit they've dominated the ball, Liverpool, but in short, sharp spells, really, and without any real threat from the off. Welcome in, DJ. Thank you very much for joining us. My Sunday's going well so far. It's only going to get better with the football we've got coming for you today. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed. I know. Challenged, but unfairly. It's going to be a free kick. Anthony Taylor, quick to give that free kick. Albeit, there might be quite a distance between these two teams in terms of the league table. Liverpool start the day in 6th, Forest start the day in 17th, but in terms of this, it's never been good, Liverpool, against teams that are lower in the table that start the day. It's the ones they seem to struggle against more. Gravenberch ultimately has a tussle with Gibbs-White. Wanted a penalty there, Morgan Gibbs-White, but says there's nothing in it, does the referee, and goal kick it will be. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. He has the right to go for the ball there, Gravenberch, but maybe a little clumsy, but I don't think it's a penalty. It's a little soft. And that's, again, another sloppy ball from Virgil van Dijk. Szoboszlai does just enough to keep it in play, but Liverpool can't keep the ball. And the shot from range is struck just wide, but again, it's sloppy from Van Dijk. I mean, I have no idea why he's trying to play that pass. And it's just a silly ball to cause a little bit of chaos, and Liverpool creating their own problems here. And Forest are just capitalising time and time again. They just haven't had the finish, but they're creating a lot of chances from Liverpool, just playing themselves into awkward situations. Ekitike dragging out a couple of tackles, and Sangari makes contact a little late. And Ugo Ekitike wins Liverpool a free kick. He seems to be hurt a little bit there, Ekitike, with where he was caught by Sangari. Yeah, he just kind of catches him in the shin with his leg and his lower leg, so leg-to-leg contact, but nothing more than that. And there's Florian Wirtz, who would have loved to be out on that pitch to help his team, but unfortunately injured in the warm-up. So a disappointing day for the German, who, as I said, had really started to kick on for Liverpool in his form. Kept in play there by Gakpo, by Van Dijk, but Gakpo gives it away. Again, Liverpool just kind of, I don't know. I can't explain it, but I'm trying to explain it, if you know what I mean. They just look nervous is the only word that I can really say, because they're doing things that unnecessarily they wouldn't do. And they're making silly mistakes. That was nice, though. By Gakpo, finding Curtis Jones in the half space. Plays it back to Gakpo, who is hacked down there by Sangari again. Another poor tackle by Ibrahim Sangari. You see it here. Cody Gakpo just skips away from his man, and Sangari apologises right away, but it's another late challenge. Certainly a player the referee will keep a very close eye on when it comes to possible yellow card involvement, but it's 2 poor tackles from him. So free kick here for Liverpool, about 27 yards out. Stefan Ortega is in the goal for Forest, former Manchester City goalkeeper, of course. Szoboszlai and Salah over it. Both have scored direct free kicks for Liverpool this season. Of course, Szoboszlai in his last game in the Premier League, home in Manchester City, when he scored that wonderful free kick. Will they have another go at it here, Liverpool? Salah and Szoboszlai over it. It's Salah, he clips it round the back post and up and headed away. Ekitike gets it back on, heads it over the crossbar. He made it look like it was going to be direct there, Liverpool, and Salah just clipped it round the back post. Good header in there by Murillo, I believe it was. And in the end it falls to Ekitike, who just kind of loops his header over the crossbar. Still goalless in the other 2 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League. Sunderland 0, Fulham 0, and Crystal Palace 0, Wolves 0 in their respective games. That's nicely won back by Szoboszlai, who finds Gakpo, who's going to shoot. Shot it right at his opposite number. And well blocked by Forest. Curtis Jones having to backtrack, got something to the ball there, and a big challenge made by Konate, but I think the referee's going to pull it back for a foul here on Igor Jesus against Curtis Jones. Looked like Curtis Jones just about got the ball, but the referee saw a foul. And he says Forest can't keep this pace up, but they can capitalise on it while they can. Well, that's the important fact. They need to capitalise upon it, Forest, when they are on top. And Liverpool are kind of struggling a little bit. If they don't, it can come back to haunt them. And that's where you'd say Liverpool have the overall quality, but at the end of the day, it's all about game state and winning your battles, and Szoboszlai does well there. Steps in at the right moment, wins a free kick. It's all about Liverpool just being smart, not giving anything away, and just kind of hanging in there until they do grow into the game. And it's been a slow start in the first 15 minutes, but Forest just need to, if they do get another chance, they need to take it. Here's Ibrahima Konate. Works himself forward, but there's no forward passes. He has to go back to Alisson. Pings it towards Curtis Jones, who takes it down nicely and feeds it to Cody Gakpo. Chops inside, Ekitike, back to Kirkez. By Jones. Through the lines to Ekitike in space. Trying to roll it on, but no one making that run forward. And given away again by Liverpool. And now Hutchinson, he's got Gibbs-White on the breakaway. Hutchinson isn't going to try and make a pass just yet. Finds Gibbs-White though, wide. Whips the ball in. Konate gets it away and followed up by Van Dijk. Gibbs-White. Back across the edge of the area. Anderson does well, as does Sangari, who feeds it back out wide to Gibbs-White. Whips it in early. Up and away by Konate. Again, a real tussle as Murillo picks it up and shoots. Blocked by McAllister. Bit of head tennis as Konate shields Igor Jesus. And I think there's actually a collision here between Van Dijk and Anderson. I think the referee's given a free kick to Forest, and both players just being checked up here due to a clash of heads. But looks like Anderson's the worse off of the two. %, Andy. I think, you know, people say, you know, you're facing it for Liverpool's point of view. You're facing a team that are 17th, in a relegation battle. They're struggling, but they've got a new manager. He's got something to prove. They've got something to prove. And also, they're getting to the point where they need to start picking up points, Forest, in these games. And in games where, at home especially, and if they don't, they really will be in the mire when it comes to relegation. And I think it has to click at some point if they're going to stay in the league. And with a new manager, there's no better time to start proving that you can than under a new manager. And you've done that quite a lot of times this season already, Forest. But I've started really well here, I have to say. Need to capitalise. Free kick here to Forest. Liverpool putting in the draft excluder with Alexis McAllister behind a 4-man wall. Around about 24 yards out. 23 yards maybe. Hutchinson, Gibbs White and Murillo were all standing there. Murillo's hit them before, as has Gibbs White. Let's see what Forest will try and do. It's a great distance, very central, perfect position for a free kick. If you can hit it right, it can be a cracker. Whistle goes. It's Gibbs White who steps up. He's going to leave it. Murillo tries to drill it. Well blocked by the Liverpool wall. Bounces back out to the left-hand side. Williams with a whip ball in. Chested away by Gravenberg. And McAllister trying to get it forward. Soboslai's through ball was blocked. Back it comes on Liverpool again quickly. Hudson-Odoi tried to squeeze it off the edge of the area, but Gakpo was there, and Gakpo wins a free kick for Liverpool. Bit scrappy that whole moment, but dealt with. Soboslai wanted to take the free kick, but that was stopped and blocked, and the referee was allowing it, so he's going to give a yellow card to the Forest player who's blocked it. And it's going to be Morgan Gibbs White, who wasn't 10 yards away when, well, yeah, to be fair, I mean, he makes a deliberate attempt to block the ball, and the referee's giving him a yellow card. I mean, it's real stupidity from Morgan Gibbs White, I got to say. Why you think that the referee's not going to book you for that is a bit bizarre, but he does get a booking. He's not 10 yards away, and he makes contact with the ball, blocking the ball, and therefore it falls apart. Albeit Liverpool unable to make anything of it as they give away a throw-in. Really poor from Arne Slot's team so far, and you've got to say, on the ball they've been really, really poor, Liverpool, to this point. It's not the Forest have sat deep. You know, a lot this season, Liverpool have actually done better against teams that have taken the game to them, have really opened them up, haven't really tried to have a go at Liverpool, and Liverpool have been able to kind of carve their way through that. It's when teams sit deeper and try and close the space and not give Liverpool all the possession they want, that's when Liverpool seem to struggle. But so far today, it seems like Liverpool are so bad on the ball from the way they've played in the first 20 minutes. They've not been able to link much up. They've not been able to really kind of get a bit of rhythm. And Forest are trying to capitalise on the counter-attack themselves. Anderson's shot blocked. Bouncing ball. Well headed by Konate. Salah takes it down in a tight area, but again is dispossessed. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi, left hand side, inside to Sangare, across to Milenkovic, and back across inside to Murillo. Nice ball through to Gibbs White, but easily found. Sangare swings it out to the left. Hudson-Odoi with a feinted ball to Anderson, who whips it across. Taken down by Hutchinson well. Inside the box, you've got Kirkes for company, and Hutchinson's sliced effort comes right down the throat of Allison. No worries there, but gotta say, the gulf in the way that both teams have played on the ball is quite stark. Forest have looked so comfortable in possession, and Liverpool have made every little bit of possession that they've had breaking forward look really difficult. That's credit to Forest and their press and their ability to win the ball back, but at the same time, for Liverpool, it's been really poor in terms of their in-play, kind of on-the-ball possession. It's been really poor, and that's, again, great from Forest. Anderson down the left to Hudson-Odoi. He's tracked all the way by Konate. As he came inside there, Sangari back to Hudson-Odoi. Making it too easy, Liverpool, at the minute. Gibbs-White whips the ball in. Low and hard, and Van Dijk gets it away, but I mean, it is strange how it can kind of switch so quickly from Liverpool looking quite good on the ball and looking quite strong in their previous games, but this one, they've looked really, really bad. Like, genuinely, it's been quite surprising. Aina, the ball into the area. Away it goes by Jones. It helped it. And Williams with a pop shot. Never getting to the target as a goal kick will come. Allison. And Liverpool going short, as you would expect. Konate's ball into the right channel, flicked on by Salah, but no one there to get on the end of it. Curtis Jones was the closest. Again, trying to make things happen, Liverpool, but it's not coming off for them. Positionally, they look a little bit off pace at the minute. Hudson-Odoi in behind. Hutchinson wanted the flag up there, as the flag does go up against Amari Hutchinson for offside. Still goalless in the other two games, so a slow start to the Sunday afternoon for all 6 Premier League teams in action. So far, none of them have been able to find the net just yet. A reminder for you, we have a huge North London derby to come a little later for you, with kind of implications at both ends of the table. Can Arsenal open their gap to City back to 5 points? Or, well, that's poor from Allison. Dreadful. I mean, this is what I mean. It's horrendous. I mean, that is just pub football. Allison kicks it straight out of play. I mean, there's no idea what's going on there. Bizarre. Yeah, implications at both ends of the table. Can Arsenal open their gap back up to 5 points against City, who closed it to 2 points yesterday? Closest it's been in a long while after their win over Newcastle last night. Or can Spurs cause an upset, make it really tasty in the title race, and give themselves a little bit of room to those teams in the relegation zone? Spurs start the day 4 points off relegation. 4 points. They win today, of course, it'll go to 7, and they'll jump up a couple of places in the league. But they really need something, Spurs, because, and with Igor Tudor, the boss at least until the end of the season for Spurs, has to just come in and steady the ship and get them to the end of the season and make sure they're a Premier League team come this time in August. Another Forest free kick here. This one a lot further out, 40 odd yards. Elliot Anderson over it. Goes short. Hudson-Odoi, who clips it into the area, away by Gravenberg. Back to Anderson it comes again as he feeds it back to Ola Aina. He will have to go all the way back to his goalkeeper, Stefan Ortega. Ortega finding Hutchinson through the lines, but couldn't hold on to it with the pace of the ball. Again, Liverpool sloppily giving it away. They cannot string 2 or 3 passes together at the minute, Liverpool. It's really quite bizarre. I genuinely feel like the only way I'm going to see Liverpool scored in this first half is if Forest gift them a golden opportunity, because offensively they've been non-existent, Liverpool, and in possession they've been worse. They've been really, really poor. Really poor. Milenkovic to Anderson, back to Nicholas Milenkovic. Switches it out to Nico Williams. Again, Forest able to keep a hold of the ball under pressure. Sangari. Hudson-Odoi coming back into the midfield to just help out personnel-wise as he tries to flick it over the top for Gibbs-White, who held on to Virgil van Dijk there, but claiming his innocence. Konate plays it into Salah. Salah back to Konate, and now to Virgil van Dijk. Well, I did mention before about Liverpool's poor recent form against Forest. They failed to win any of their last 3 games against the so-called Tricky Trees. They won 3-0 at Anfield back in November. They drew 1-1 here last season and won 1-0 in Arne Slot's early reign if you remember. That 1-0 defeat they had at Anfield, Liverpool, early in his campaign. I think 4th game in charge for Arne Slot. Here's Ugo Ekitike between the lines. Miskicked it. Given away to Nico Williams. As Forest actually gifted it to Liverpool there, and they still messed it up. Here's Jesus through the ball. Root race with Konate was Hudson-Odoi, and Konate bundled over, and Allison has to clear away for a throw-in. Konate wanted the foul, but I mean, shocking. Just shocking. Genuinely shocking defending. I mean, Hudson-Odoi barely makes contact and Konate goes over like a sack of potatoes. I mean, relax. You have to be stronger there, in my opinion. And Allison tried to deny the corner. He did. And it will be a Forest throw. I mean, the only positive Liverpool can probably take out of the first 29 minutes so far is the fact that they can probably not get worse. The scoreline can. Throw into the area. Try to go long there. Overthrew it. Not often you see that with a long throw. They actually overthrow it. Goes behind for the goal kick. Well, the travelling Liverpool fans trying to get behind their team. Really haven't given them much to shout about in the first half an hour of this game. Allison's ball just about reaches Gakpo. Finds Ekitike, but no link-up available there as it's given away to Aina. Finds it just inside to Anderson. Tries to switch it out to the left for Hudson-Odoi, but overhits it a little bit. Liverpool will get the throw. Look at that for first half stats. Shots 7 for Forest, 2 for Liverpool, 2 on target for Forest, none for Liverpool. And a possession that's around about 50-50. It's been quite a horrendous first 30 minutes for Arne Slot's team. That's nicely done by Ekitike, but followed up by an awful first touch by Gravenberg, who gives it away. Oh, spinning his man there was Igor Jesus. Shot and whacked it off the head of Virgil van Dijk, who's gone down. Referee says play on for the moment as Ekitike tries to take on 2 players, and the game has stopped as Van Dijk is still down. Why it wasn't stopped a little earlier, I'm a bit confused. Arne Slot having a real go at the 4th official there. I'm guessing he's not happy with the fact that the game played on after Van Dijk went down with a head injury. It was quite clearly a head injury, and the referee saw it, looked away, and then 10 seconds later decided to stop the game. A little bit delayed there from the referee, and Ruben Ricardo, the 4th official, getting an earful from the Liverpool manager. Who's trying to relay a bit of a message to Dominik Szoboszlai. I think he needs to get a message to his players because they've looked really, really poor. Then again, tactics doesn't help. Poor first touches, poor passes, silly mistakes. All of that isn't to do with tactics. That's down to just bad play. It's that simple. The players are not playing the football. They're playing themselves into trouble. Maybe there's a way the manager can try and resolve that, but again, when your first touch lands 5 yards away from you, it doesn't particularly bode well for creating any sort of momentum in what has been a really closely fought game in terms of the fact of individual battles. Forest have certainly dominated those areas. Still awaiting our first goal of this Sunday afternoon in the Premier League. 3 games underway and not a single one of them have goals in them as of yet. Of course, we saw it a 0-0 draw between West Ham and Bournemouth last night in our first game of the weekend here in LFS. Hutchinson back to Aina. Down the left-hand side it goes to, or the right-hand side, sorry, to Gibbs White. Back to Aina. Plays it across. Back to Murillo. And Van Dijk back on the field after getting some checks. Sangare, Jesus. Couldn't hold it up there, Igor Jesus. And now Salah. Again, nowhere to go, not backwards or forwards, and gets dispossessed. I mean, that's what I mean. Liverpool players somehow have so many players in their own half, but still look completely isolated and not got a pass on. I mean, it's a skill in and of itself. And I gotta say, Vitor Pereira's side have been more than good enough to be winning this game. And the way that they've played in this first half, they've really shown up Nottingham Forest. Liverpool just haven't. As I said, the positive Liverpool can take out of it is the fact that it remains goalless. Kirkez with a long throw. First one by Milenkovic, second ball one by Aina. Again, Liverpool hamper the possession from their own throw-in. And Forest recycle the ball. I mean, it's really basic stuff at the minute, though. Winning the first and second ball. I mean, it's impossible to do anything in a game if you can't win the first or the second ball. That's nicely done by McAllister. Ekitike creating an angle for Gakpo. Gakpo into the box, tries to flick it to the far side for Salah, blocked by Williams and seen away by Anderson. Gravenberch closed down well by the backtracking Jesus. Now Hutchinson out to the left. Under pressure from Kirkez. He bundles over Hutchinson and a free kick to Forest. It really is bizarre. I'm trying my best to be neutral. Of course I am, obviously, but my goodness, it's frustrating. Milenkovic to Gibbs White, back to Nikola Milenkovic. Back again to Ortega and now to Murillo. Forced into a blind pass, nicely picked up by Gravenberch. Now Szoboszlai on the press, he has it. Edge of the area, feeds it to Salah. Salah's ball across was a nice one. Just ahead of Gakpo though. Good ball by Salah. Just Gakpo was just a little behind it. Tasty ball and no one tracking Gakpo at the back post. Milenkovic steps in towards Ekitike in the space left at the back post. If Gakpo had angled himself right there, could have been a better chance for Liverpool. A rare attacking opportunity for the visiting team so far. Clearance by Milenkovic, header by Konate, picked up by Salah, and nicely taken down by Curtis Jones. It looks like Szoboszlai's swap with Jones, position-wise. Jones has gone to right back and Szoboszlai's come into midfield, which was the opposite of what it looked like from the start. So Jones was a straight swap for the injured Weerts. It seems like Curtis Jones struggling in that midfield, so Arne Slot swapped them around for the moment. See what can happen. Konate steps in, wins the ball. Gravenberch late. And it's actually going to be a free kick to Forest. I think that's the right decision. Gravenberch was late there. Free kick it is to Forest. sloppy from Ryan Gravenberch, who's looked off his usual pace this afternoon so far. He's not on his own with that though. 8 minutes to go of the first half. What has been a pretty dire first half for Liverpool, all considered. For Forest, it's been a first half which they've been in control of, but haven't been able to take advantage of. That's beautiful from Hudson-Odoi, but the second touch let him down. Here's Nico Williams. Anderson back to Sankari. Now Milenkovic to Hutchinson. Pressured by Kerkez, but able to evade that pressure. Milenkovic plays it back inside to Anderson. Now back to Murillo. Williams. Ola-Aina. Into Hutchinson. Reverses it towards Igor Jesus. Good tackle by Van Dijk. Needed to make it. And now McAllister wanted to play it through for Salah to chase. He will pick up the second ball though, Mo Salah. Reverse towards Jones. Now McAllister. Underhit it towards Gakpo. And Aina and Sangare linking up, dealing with that situation. That through ball to Igor Jesus was a dangerous one. Konate under pressure here from Gibbs White. Goes down again and he's going to get the free kick this time. Igor Jesus tackling. Konate fouled, said the referee. Free kick to Liverpool. Again, I said he should have been stronger a little earlier when he was in a tussle. Konate. See this one. See if I think the same here. As we see this chance a little earlier for Igor Jesus. What a tackle by by Van Dijk. Got his foot in at the right time. Fantastic challenge. Fantastic opportunity. Well defended in the end. I didn't see the replay of the free kick that's been given to Konate. Fouled by Igor Jesus. Haven't been able to see a replay, but I'm not too sure. I can't make an opinion on it really. Sobersley wanted a free kick, but it's actually going to be a throw-in, which Kerkez takes. Bit of confusion there as to what the actual decision was. Ball over the top here towards Ekitike. Second ball picked up by McAllister. Gakpo was well challenged as he strode onto it. And lots of bodies up the field for Liverpool, leaves them a little open at the back. They've got all the defenders back, but here's Hutchinson. Against Kerkez. Hutchinson's cross had to be directed behind by Alisson with the way that it took the touch on the inside. See it here. Gibbs White's ball down the right channel. Hutchinson up against Kerkez. Takes it on his right and then kind of swings it towards goal, but it doesn't take much of a curl. And it spins towards Alisson's goal, and Alisson has to kind of throw it over the top of his own net to deny him a chance there. Hutchinson will take this corner. Only the second corner of the game, both Forest corners so far. Hutchinson, left-footed, deep, up in the air it goes, but Jesus will retrieve the second ball. Back to Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now inside to Ola-Aina. Anderson. Less than 5 to go with the first half. Still 0-0 here at the City Ground. Hutchinson. Back to Elliot Anderson. Deep. Headed back across by Igor Jesus, but no one there to meet it in the middle. But Alisson. I have to say, if Liverpool get to half-time level, at least, there has to be a big talk in that dressing room. Because they will know their standards have been nowhere near, or their levels have been nowhere near their standards in this first half, and they've really just gifted chance after chance to Forest. They've got away with it time and time again. Gibbs White, away by Szoboszlai again. Liverpool playing themselves into trouble. Hudson-Odoi, back to Williams. Hudson-Odoi clipped into the area. Gibbs-White was the target, blocked. Elliot Anderson's shot on the rebound was blocked behind for the corner. Again, I have to say, Liverpool, if I'm being 100% honest, Liverpool deserve to be losing this game. Genuinely. They've been this bad. Really poor. Really, really poor. I mean, if you were to come into this game with no context whatsoever, you would think Forest are the team chasing Champions League football and Liverpool are the team that are struggling against relegation. It's been that one-sided. Corner delivered in, right-footed, deep, too deep. Hits the roof of the net from Elliot Anderson. Goal kick. On clearance by Alisson. 2 minutes of the first half to go. Salah tried to get it on the turn, but again, no one in the middle for Liverpool to receive it. All scattered everywhere, Liverpool, at the minute. Seems to be no real idea in the middle where they need to be positioned. They're all kind of scattered. No one picking up second balls, which is an issue. When Salah does receive the ball, he does need someone to play it off. Otherwise, I mean, he's got no chance. Well, I gotta say, there's been a huge opportunity missed in the game at Sellers Park between Palace and Wolves. Ekitike's back ball towards Gakpo again. Miscommunication, complete stupidity. Given away cheaply. Hudson-Odoi. Again, it's like Liverpool have showed up. The 11 players on the pitch do not know who each other are, and they've never played with each other. Look lost out there. Like a wounded animal. I mean, this does not look like the team that thumped Brighton in the FA Cup. This does not look like the team that went away to Sunderland and came away with a win and probably should have won by more, only won by a goal to nil. I mean, this is nowhere near that team for Liverpool, and it's a worry. Certainly from a Liverpool perspective, that, you know, they've shown so much in previous games, and then continually today I've been absolutely nowhere near it. As I was saying, that chance in the game at Sellers Park, Wolves have been pressing and pressing for that opening goal, and they had the golden opportunity from a penalty, but Tolu Rokodari had his penalty saved by Dean Henderson, and Palace stay in the game, but should and possibly really could and possibly should be 1-0 down in that one, but it is goalless as it stands. 3 minutes of additional time at the end of this first half here at the City Ground, and 3 minutes for Forest to use what has been a pretty good first half and try and use that as an advantage to try and give themselves a scoreline advantage going into the break. And that's a poor ball forward, and it's ultimately picked up by Alisson and Van Dijk now. Szoboszlai. Back to Van Dijk. Into Gravenberch, who took it on the nice turn. Got space ahead and lays it out to Salah. Salah back to Jones at right back now. Down the line to Salah again. Chops onto his left. Back to Jones. Again trying to create something, but no room to manoeuvre here for Liverpool at the moment. Jones gives it back out wide to Salah. Salah trying to find the through ball to Jones, but well blocked by Williams, and Salah challenged, but Jones fights to win it back. All fair, said the referee. Salah. Jones. Salah. Trying to find the through ball. Gravenberch made the run. Well covered up by Murillo. And pokes it through to Hudson-Odoi, who's completely unmarked, and then finds an unmarked Gibbs-White to have the ball stolen away from him from Gakpo. McAllister now to Gravenberch. Lays it out wide to Salah. Little better from Liverpool. Gravenberch now. Edge of the area. Wants to try and edge up for a shot, but couldn't quite keep his balance on the edge of the box there and has it taken away. Last minute of the half. Hudson-Odoi down the left-hand side. Liverpool have the clear man advantage back there. That's a nice ball though to Hutchinson. Hudson-Odoi. Anderson. Back to Callum Hudson-Odoi. Nico Williams. Keeping it moving, Forest. Hutchinson. Gives away, lays it back to Milenkovic, who will shoot, and zip just over the crossbar. I think there's a lot to digest from this first half. A lot. And a lot of negatives for Liverpool. Very few positives, and quite the opposite for Nottingham Forest. A lot of positives and very few negatives. Alisson to take this goal kick. And that calls to an end a first half that Liverpool will probably want to forget. Albeit, no damage done in terms of the scoreline. It is goalless, but a first half that has been surely pretty damaging to the Liverpool confidence. They have been by far second best, but Nottingham Forest unable to capitalise on being the better team. And at the moment, at the break, it's Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 0 at the break. Sure, one last kick. This is gonna be it. This is the moment. Vicario kicks this, and Liverpool are there. Liverpool are Premier League champions. And there it comes. Crystal Palace, for the very first time in their history, are FA Cup winners. Oh, he's found the net. Oh, what a goal. Kvaratskhelia is through, wants to add a fourth, and does so. Ahmad, oh my goodness me. That is absolutely unbelievable. Rice again. Oh! You thought he couldn't beat the first one. He's gone and bettered it. Another whip ball in. The header is in by Virgil van Dijk. Incredible. Welcome back to Premier League Live at half-time at the City Ground. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 0, and certainly that scoreline is very deceiving in the way that the first half has gone. As you see down the left-hand side of your screen there, the stats read pretty poorly for Liverpool and pretty good for Nottingham Forest. 12 shots they had in that first half to Liverpool's 2. An XG of 0.91, which is a bit understated for how well they played in that first half. 0.06 for Liverpool. Haven't had a shot on target yet. Only 2 shots on target for Forest. But at that same time, it's not the stats that are just bearing bad for Liverpool. The way that they have played in that first half is horrendous. They cannot string more than 2 or 3 passes together. They've really offered no threat whatsoever. And they've looked really sloppy all over the field. And it's something Arne Slot needs to get a grip of at half-time, because if it continues as it is, they're in for a pretty bad second half as well as that bad first half. But we'll wait and see what we can expect. But I'm expecting that if Liverpool do want to buck up their ideas and win this game, they're going to have to play a lot better than they did in the whole of that first half, because they were quite horrendous. But for Forest, they've played really, really well. You can really see the energy in Forest and the way they've played. The football has been quite scintillating at times. Really good play. It's just they've lacked the finish. That's the only thing that they've failed to do, is put the ball in the back of the net, but they've done everything else perfectly okay. Let's have a look at the other scores, though, around the grounds. In our early kickoffs, it's goalless elsewhere as well. So all 6 teams struggling to put the ball into the back of the net this afternoon. But the best chance of the day surely came when Wolves had a penalty through Tolu Urokodare, saved by Palace goalkeeper Dean Henderson. And as it stands, it remains goalless there, goalless at the City Ground, and goalless between Sunderland and Fulham at the break as well. So a slow start to the Sunday afternoon in the Premier League in all of the games, but no worries, because we have a game that surely is not going to disappoint whatever happens later on at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs taking on Arsenal in the North London derby in our game of the week. It's at 4:30 this afternoon, and it's, as I said, implications at both ends of the table. Will Arsenal be able to capitalise and take advantage of again having that game in hand and extend the gap to at the top to Manchester City back to 5 points? Or can Spurs push themselves away, make the title race a lot tighter, and push themselves away from relegation-threatened the relegation-threatened teams? We'll see if they can do that a little later on. The North London derby in around about an hour and a half's time. We'll have team news in about 15 minutes. Kick-off there at 4:30. But the second half between Forest and Liverpool and the other 2 o'clock games is on the way very shortly. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Premier League Live, second half at the City Ground on the way in just a second, surely. But a reminder for you, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. That would be greatly appreciated. And thank you all for joining us this afternoon. It's a pretty dismal day here where I am, but let's hope that it's much better for wherever you are. And a big second half to come in all of our 2 o'clockers from what it could mean. Wolves, rock bottom of the table, failing to take the chance to capitalise upon what has been a pretty lacklustre first half from Palace at home. Topsy-turvy Crystal Palace in the last few weeks. They're down there in the mix of relegation-threatened teams. Fulham and Sunderland, 2 mid-table sides, battling it out at the Stadium of Light. And relegation-threatened Forest, at the moment, dominating Champions League chasing Liverpool, who will want to take advantage of Chelsea dropping points at home, and Man United not playing to tomorrow night to apply a little bit of pressure to them. Liverpool can go up to 5th this afternoon. They won't be able to go above Chelsea because of goal difference this afternoon, but they can join them level on points if they win this game. Liverpool droppage of points will be another blow to their chase for the top 5. As Forest get us back underway, and Liverpool kicking from left to right in the second half. Forest from right to left. And will Forest start the second as they ended the first, or will Liverpool come out a completely different looking side? Who knows? We will see. And the sun is still shining in Nottingham, on the banks of the River Trent. And Forest have been more than the better team, but no doubt the better side, but whether they can use it to their advantage. And so far they haven't been able to, but Curtis Jones there just didn't get anything to that. Well, luckily Hudson-Odoi didn't either, and that's what got Liverpool away with trouble there. Here's Konate charging forward for Liverpool, still going. He does well to find Salah. Salah pings it to the back post over the head of Milenkovic, and behind for a Liverpool corner. Their first of the game. Great run by Konate. Then got up with Salah, and Salah's cross off the head of Milenkovic behind for the Liverpool corner. Applauded and cheered by the travelling Liverpool crowd in the far end. And where the camera position is, Dominic Szoboszlai over to take this corner. Szoboszlai's delivery. Ekitike got something, but it took a deflection. I think it will be another corner. Yeah, Ekitike was the first contact, but deflected off a Forest player. Behind for another Liverpool corner. So, take 2 for Dominic Szoboszlai. And the referee make sure there's only one ball on the field of play before we restart. Now we do restart. Szoboszlai. Right-footed delivery, a bit more height behind it this time as Murillo heads it into the air. It's still in the mix. Gibbs White gets it away. Ekitike back to Szoboszlai, whips it in again. Headed well at the back post by Nico Williams. Jones tries to flick it on. As does Konate, but taken in by Sangare, and now brought down by Gibbs White. As Forest want to spring a counter. Lovely ball by Gibbs White. Finds Hutchinson down the left channel. Well blocked by Kirkes, who had to come across. Corner to Forest. Now, at least Liverpool were on the offensive for a moment or two. That'll maybe just brighten them up a little bit, but Forest with a corner right up the other end. No subs yet. No half-time substitutes. Andy there. Elliot Anderson delivered this corner for Forest. Front post headed away by a Liverpool player at the front post. Taken in by Anderson again. Up against Szoboszlai. The two number 8s against each other. Back to Hudson-Odoi it comes. Anderson once more. Hudson-Odoi. Going for the cross. The header! Just wide by Milenkovic. Just. And I mean just wide. You could split hairs between Milenkovic's header and where the ball ended up. Just wide of the post. It is just wide, and Vito Pereira reacts quite animated. Knows that's another big chance missed for his team as Murillo in a foot race with Szoboszlai. And Murillo plays it back to his goalkeeper. Szoboszlai continues his press. Oh, miscue there by Milenkovic. Taken down by Salah. Whose ball is given back to Elliot Anderson. Poor from Liverpool again. Been very reactionary, Liverpool. Everything that's come, they've always been a step behind Nottingham Forest. Always been reacting to what's happening and not being proactive, not trying to predict, not trying to anticipate. Always waiting to react. Szoboszlai. Back to Van Dijk. Down the left comes Kirkes. Back inside he comes. Has to play it back to Virgil van Dijk again. Konate under pressure. Szoboszlai does well. Lays it out to Jones. Szoboszlai seems to be moving everywhere at the minute in the middle. Coming deep. Dragging forward. Pressing from the front. Picking up pockets of space. I mean, the all-rounder, Dominic Szoboszlai for Liverpool, has undoubtedly been their best player all season. And someone made a point. It actually kind of resonated when it comes to Liverpool. Dominic Szoboszlai has been a top-tier player all season, played incredibly all season, but no one's come up to his level in his team. He's been let down by the rest of his team, Szoboszlai, this season, and I would agree with that. No one on his team has been anywhere near his level all campaign. That's a lovely ball by Szoboszlai. Finds Gakpo up against Hutchinson. Gakpo chops onto his right foot. It's back inside to Gravenberch though, but again, Forest have it all clogged up in the middle. Gravenberch, Van Dijk, Kierkees, Virgil van Dijk, Kierkees. One-dimensional from Liverpool here. At least they're keeping the ball. I'm sure they'll be happy with that. A little bit happier. That's a beautiful ball by Konate. McAllister blocked. Salah picks it up, finds Jones. Now Szoboszlai rolls it through for Jones. Jones in the box trying to shoot. It's well blocked as 2 or 3 bodies got in the way of that shot. That was better from Liverpool though. Good poke ball by Konate. Very direct play there. Same from Szoboszlai towards Jones. And another ball by Konate, but that one well closed out by Murillo. As Jones reacts well. Picks up the loose ball. Szoboszlai. Van Dijk. Szoboszlai. Down the right to Salah. Salah plays it back to Ibrahima Konate. And across to Virgil van Dijk. Still goalless in all 3 of our 2 o'clock games in the Premier League. Gakpo was hacked down there by Ola Aina. Free kick to Liverpool. Second half, Liverpool have had 68% possession. 1 shot apiece for both sides, but Liverpool looking a little bit more comfortable. Salah. Szoboszlai, nice little 1-2. Salah on the chase, but Murillo was there quicker. He's a big man, Murillo, but he's got a lot of pace when he gets going. And he was there to block Salah. Puts it out for the throw, taken quickly. Jones. Szoboszlai. Konate drifting forward. Floats it out to the left for Gakpo, who takes the first touch. Onto his right foot again. Cuts inside. Gakpo's ball to the back post. Salah across. And off the line. Cleared away there. Jones made the extra man. That was better again from Liverpool. Seen that before. Gakpo's delivery to Salah at the back post and headed across. Jones was the threat. And he just couldn't get clean enough contact on it to head it past Stefan Ortega. But Forest could clear away, but a little better from Liverpool, at least some cohesion, some controlled play that turns into something positive. Not more than what you can say of the whole of the first half, I gotta be honest. Forest have maybe just stepped off a little bit here as well. Not been as aggressive. Maybe the full intensity of the first half might just be waning on Forest, and they need a little bit of a breather. Start the second half, just settle in a little bit, and then maybe have another go shortly. Here's Ekitike, drags it back in tight areas, and he lays it back to Szoboszlai, who now finds the space to find Salah. Salah down the right, spins it into the area low towards Kierkees, who made the run. But Milenkovic got the better of it. Szoboszlai was there to link it up, but was seen out of play well by the covering Forest player. We'll see this chance again. Salah's ball across, headed across, guided it, and Jones did make contact. Good save by Stefan Ortega. Very good save. That was so close to a Liverpool goal. Their best chance of the game, their best bit of creativity all game. And Stefan Ortega was there to deny them. Oh, a little bit short there for Alisson, who did well to get it back to Kirkes, who made the initial mistake. But they do come out unscathed again, Liverpool. Remains 0-0 here at the City Ground. Kirkes going for the switch ball to Salah. Cut out by Nico Williams, but second ball picked up by Jones. Now Szoboszlai, a little heavy. He has ample cover to retrieve it. Jones, and again to direct it towards Salah, who takes the lovely first touch, but battled well was Nico Williams. Wins the throw in there to Liverpool. Salah takes it. No time to wait around. Liverpool have momentum, and they want to keep a hold of said momentum to try and find that opener. Much better performance so far the second half, but they need to make it count, Liverpool, like Forest didn't in the first. The only downside to the first half for Nottingham Forest, the fact they couldn't find the net when they were on top. Gakpo takes it down. Kirkes back to Van Dijk. He'll give it back to his goalkeeper once again. Look a little sharper, Liverpool, I gotta say. Just a little sharper. I wouldn't say they've been transformed, but just an extra little bit. There are passing lanes on, there's movement, there's options available. They're looking a little bit more like themselves, Liverpool. Certainly more like the team that we saw against Sunderland than against Brighton. Salah down the right channel for Jones. Pokes it inside, nice little 1-2 with McAllister, Curtis Jones. Occupying Nico Williams, back to Salah it comes. Got space, reverses it towards Ekitike, but well seen out by Nico Williams again, who's done really well once more. And Forest scrambling, get onto the loose ball with Callum Hudson-Odoi. He takes it down and gives it back to Igor Jesus. And we have our first goal of the afternoon in our 2 o'clockers. I'll tell you about that in a second. Forest with the ball here with Anderson. Once we have full confirmation of it. But we believe it's come at the not the City Ground, at the Stadium of Light between Sunderland and Fulham. And as I said, Sunderland, who fell to their first home defeat of the season to Liverpool in their last home game, looking to bounce back. Well, it's not gone so well so far. Fulham have taken the lead, so it's Fulham who are in front. Sunderland 0, Fulham 1 at the Stadium of Light. And Marco Silva's side have taken the advantage. And our first goal of the afternoon in our 2 o'clockers. That's Raul Jimenez with the opening goal for Fulham. They take the lead away at Sunderland. A win for Fulham today would push them up into the top half, up to 10th. Sunderland would drop to 12th with defeat this afternoon, so it's very tightly congested in the middle of the pitch, or in the middle of the table, shall I say. And it's from a corner that they've taken the lead. And it's a good header by Raul Jimenez into the far corner, completely unmarked, gets away from his man. Real good header. And the goal he conceded against Liverpool was from a similar position. Once again, a bit of deja vu for those Sunderland supporters at home once more. Oh, poor ball by Salah there, sorry. Gravenberch and Gakpo were trying to battle for it back, but they give it away. Aina. Hutchinson with Ola Aina down the right here for Forest. Andy says Forest went 100 miles an hour in the first half. We'll start to show this around now. That's a nice ball by Murillo. Finds Nico Williams. Well blocked by Szoboszlai. And last touch off Szoboszlai will be a Forest throw. You've got to say Liverpool do have a lot of catching up to do. We've been the better team so far in the second half of the visitors. We hit the hour mark and it remains goalless. Ola Aina to take this throw in for Forest. Goes short, Ola Aina to Murillo. Inside to Anderson. Now Williams thumps it forward. Jones gets his head to that one. Heads it out for another Forest throw. Taken quickly by Hudson-Odoi. Whips it in, Hudson-Odoi on the rebound. Away by Gakpo, who was in there, and picked up by Ekitike, who's got a bit of burst of pace here to get away from his man. He's being held on to there, Ekitike. And Ola Aina is going to give and concede the yellow card here for just dragging Ugo Ekitike back. He was never going to allow him to charge away. Good pace on him there. Ekitike burst away from two. And Ola Aina had ultimate grip of the back of Ugo Ekitike's shirt there. And it's going to get him a yellow card. A very smart yellow card for Ola Aina to take there, considering the danger that could have come. So a free kick for Liverpool. Seems to be something happening at the game at Sunderland and Fulham again. And Fulham won a penalty, I believe. Bassey thought he was fouled. VAR in action as Liverpool's free kick comes all the way through. Off McAllister's head. Wide goal kick. This again. Ooh, whether was Calvin Bassey impeded there? Looks like he was, in my opinion. This very easily could be a penalty to Fulham at the Stadium of Light. We'll keep a very close eye, but VAR are having a look at it. Craig Pawson, the referee, didn't give it, but VAR are having a look. And from what I could see, Bassey was being held back, and the goalkeeper got the punch on the ball only because Calvin Bassey was pulled back. Therefore, directly impeding the player to have a chance at getting to the ball. Therefore, surely that's a foul and a penalty. Brian Brobby with the foul. Here is Hudson-Odoi, pushed over by Konate, but strongly done by the Liverpool defender, and no foul given there. And I think that was a little soft. Hudson-Odoi trying to buy the free kick there more than anything. Back to the Stadium of Light, and the referee Craig Pawson's going to the monitor to have another look at this. And I think he might overturn his original decision of no penalty, and I think this will be a penalty to Fulham. From what I could see, it looked like it should be. Gravenberch gives it away here. Sangari down the right to Hutchinson. Hutchinson breaking into the box. Got a number of Liverpool players around him. Kirkes and Gravenberch the two. Ball whipped in. And off the roof of the net again. The ball too deep from Ola Aina. Goal kick. There's been a red card as well at Sellers Park. All happening now in the second half. After a missed penalty in the first for Wolves, they're now down to 10. And Ladislav Krejci with a second yellow card. 2 yellow cards in 3 minutes from Ladislav Krejci has got him sent off. So Wolves down to 10 away at Palace. It remains goalless. And decision at Stadium of Light is a penalty and a yellow card for Brian Brobby. So penalty to Fulham. And day goes from bad to worse for Sunderland, who are looking to bounce back from their last home defeat. Their first of the season, and it might be back-to-back home defeats if Fulham convert from the spot here. Is Sunderland 0, Fulham 1. Fulham have a penalty. As Hudson-Odoi penalised for a foul on Curtis Jones. Kicking through the back of the leg of Curtis Jones, so a free kick it is. Raul Jimenez from the spot. He's already scored this afternoon, and like Andy said in the chat, 12 from 12 from penalties. Raul Jimenez, can he make it 13 from 13? He's already got the record for the most penalties taken with a 100% record in the Premier League history. Will it stay? Will he be denied here? Raul Jimenez, little run up, another little run up, and takes it, finds the corner. Cool as you like. Raul Jimenez, 13 out of 13 penalties that he's taken in the Premier League. He scored them all, and he makes it 2-0 to Fulham. taking firm grip of that game at the Stadium of Light are the Cottagers. Here at the City Ground, it remains goalless. Liverpool have been better in the second half, but still no breakthrough from either team. Salah frustrated there, he didn't win the throw-in. And he smiles it as Salah feels that he was confused, that the last touch didn't come off him and came off a Forest player. Meanwhile, Forest are going to make a double substitution. So Callum Hudson-Odoi is going to be coming off. He's going to be replaced by Dan Ndoye. And Dylan Bakwa is going to be coming on. And he's going to replace Amari Hutchinson. So the two wide players for Forest coming off, Hutchinson and Hudson-Odoi, replaced by Ndoye and Bakwa. To some fresh legs further forward. 24 minutes to go with this game. It remains goalless here at the City Ground. Jesus with a flick on. Further towards Jones, but Gravenberch on the cover. Receives it back to Allison. Who fires long. Milinkovic with the header. Followed up by Bakwa with his first involvement. But nicely plucked down by McAllister, who was wrestling with his man, and Sangare giving away the free kick there, keeping a hold of Alexis McAllister. Gravenberch. Van Dijk. Kirkez to Konate. Salah. Jones. Liverpool keeping the ball moving. Van Dijk plucks it out to Gakpo on the left. Inside to Gravenberch. Inside to Szoboszlai now. Back to Van Dijk, who guides it out to the left for Kirkez. Up against Bakwa. Kirkez has to trudge it back to Gravenberch, who let the ball run, but he's got it under control. Finds it to his international captain and club captain, Virgil van Dijk. Quarter of this game to go. 0-0 at the City Ground. Szoboszlai. Konate. Konate striding forward. Plays it out to Salah on the right touchline. Flicks it into the area towards Ekitike. Blocked well by Anderson, and Williams under pressure. Nico Williams does really well to get it away. Poked down by Szoboszlai, and they felt there was a hold there by Konate. And the referee has given a free kick against Ibrahima Konate. Igor Jesus held on to, according to the referee. Free kick to Forest. Aina. Down the right to Bakwa. Gakpo wrestling, wins the ball back. Finds it on to McAllister, who had to shield it. Does well. Szoboszlai back to Konate. Pokes it to McAllister. Reverse towards Szoboszlai, who's got space ahead of him. Feeds it out to Salah on the right. Salah quickly closed down, works it inside to Jones. Clips it over the top. Szoboszlai battling, as was Curtis Jones, but cleared away by Anderson. And then Konate shoving the back of Igor Jesus. Going to get a free kick for Forest. He's just too aggressive there, Konate. Just shoves his man. I mean, it's quite silly and unnecessary, really. Clearance made by Ortega towards Igor Jesus. Battled with Jones, went down, and is going to get a free kick given against him, Igor Jesus there. Referee said he wasn't fouled, and actually said that he went down a little easily, but surely if he's given it for simulation, it should be a yellow card. Said no, and just give the free kick, which comes to nothing from Liverpool. Quickly given back to Forest. Murillo. Further up the field, told to shoot by the crowd. It's quite a distance out. Bakwa though, he's told to shoot. And he drags it well wide of the right post. Just didn't set himself up there. Dylan Bakwa. Liverpool get the throw on the right hand side, about halfway line. 70 minutes gone, 20 to go and remain goalless. Only 3 shots on target in the whole game. Liverpool with 1, Forest with 2. That's a nice switch ball to Kirkez. Down the line to Gakpo, back to Kirkez. Draws haven't been too uncommon for Liverpool in the Premier League in 2026. She drew their first 4 games of the calendar year, and alternating between wins and losses in their last 4, 2 wins and 2 losses. In the last 4 games, most recent was that last win away at Sunderland, 1-0. At home to Newcastle, their only 2 wins of 2026. This head draws against Leeds, Fulham, Arsenal and Burnley to start the calendar year. For Forest, they've only actually lost 1 of their last 6 Premier League games. Draw with Arsenal, draw with Palace, draw with Wolves last time out. Wins away at Brentford and away at West Ham, and then that defeat at, away to Leeds was their only defeat in the last 6, and only 1 of 2 defeats of the 2026. Their other one was away at Aston Villa. So unbeaten at home this calendar year are Forest, but they've drawn each of their last 3 home games in the league. Looks like it might be 4 in a row here, unless something changes. As Soberslai was dragged back, foul given by the referee, and not a popular decision from the home crowd. And that's the issue for Liverpool, is who on their bench will make a change. I mean, in an attacking sense, probably Federico Chiesa, but other than that, is there anyone with real great experience that can produce anything in an attacking sense? The rest of them are mostly younger players that are on the Liverpool bench and in a more attacking situation. Andy Robertson and Joe Gomez, obviously defenders. Now the other experienced players on the bench, but of course no Alex Isak, no Frimpong. Of course, no Florian Wirtz, which you kind of feel as the game's gone on would have been a major difference to this game, of course. Obviously, but I think that was a real blow, and maybe that could have been the turning point to the game today for Liverpool. At Wirtz, we really don't realise how important he is, and it's not been realised by a lot of people until he's not in the team, and then it becomes evident as to how important he actually is for Liverpool and how important he actually has become to the way Liverpool play and the way they create chances. Konate, oh, let it skip in behind him, but he made up for it against Elliot Anderson. Clock ticks down, and the closer we get to 90, actually the less likely it looks there's going to be a winner. Neither side have really given us much evidence to prove otherwise at the minute. Liverpool have won just 1 of their last 15 away league games against Nottingham Forest, so it's not often they do it. It's a tricky place to come at the best of times. Drawn 8 and lost 6. They only beat them 1-0 in March of 2024. It was their one and only victory in the last 15. That was a last gasp winner from Darwin Núñez. if you remember that day. Something like the 99th minute or something like that. It was quite crazy, that Liverpool victory that day. In 99th minute, that goal came. Here's Nico Williams. Going for the switch ball. He's got the space and the option in Bakwa. If he can take it in, he can't. Just goes over the line, as he did take the touch. Throw into Liverpool. And some movement from the benches, both benches. Forest are going to make some changes. Going to see Nicolas Dominguez going to be coming on. He's going to replace Elliot Anderson, we believe. And the second substitution for Forest, if the fourth official can get his numbers correct, he's going to see Lorenzo Luca come on. And he's going to replace Igor Jesus. Lorenzo Luca, who has had a bit of movement already this season. Joined Forest on loan from Napoli. On loan to the end of the season. And Liverpool going to make a double change of their own. For the moment. Let's see what this is. Well, it looks like Mo Salah's coming off. As well as Cody Gakpo. And we're going to see the introduction of Rio Ngamoa and Federico Chiesa. So Chiesa and Ngamoa on, replacing Salah and Gakpo for Liverpool. Federico Chiesa, of course, the 2 Premier League goals. They have both come early in the season, at home to Bournemouth on the opening night and away at Crystal Palace, where the game they lost in late September are Chiesa's only goals. And Rio Ngamoa, the 17-year-old, of course, 1 goal this season, and that was, of course, away at Newcastle, all the way in match day 3. Scored the winner on that day in the 100th minute, I believe. Actually did score, though, in his last outing with the under-21s for Liverpool. Scored a winner, or in a game, where they won 4-3 against West Brom in Premier League 2 last weekend. So, Rio Ngamoa on the score sheet recently. There's McAllister, and it was fouled there. He still stayed down, holding his right knee, just under his knee. A more painful one for McAllister. See it here. It's caught by Milan Bakwa. Oh, it's late, I think. See it here. Right down the shin of McAllister there, Dilan Bakwa. It's clumsy. It's reckless. Is it any more than that? A scrape, though, right down the shin of Alexis McAllister. And checked and cleared by VAR, Paul Tierney. Referee Anthony Taylor did give the free kick, but McAllister arguing that it probably should have been more than just a free kick. But we play on. Free kick it is to Liverpool inside the Forest half, and 11 minutes to go. Remain goalless. Reminder for you, the North London derby's coming up very shortly. Less than an hour's time, 4:30 kick-off from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs v Arsenal, 4:30. Soboslai's delivery. Oh, headed away. The goalkeeper was coming for that one. Gravenberch takes it down. Jones. Gravenberch again. Jones. Kirkez will just give it back to his goalkeeper and Allison. Chased down by Bakwa, but Allison gets rid. And a ball that will be chased and taken down by goalkeeper. Actually taken in by Ola Aina. 10 minutes to go. And there's another opportunity at the stadium. Another goal from the penalty spot. And it's Sunderland this time that have scored. They've got one back. It's Sunderland 1, Fulham 2. And Enzo Lefebvre from the penalty spot is the one to get it. And that game's turning into a real interesting one into the final 10 minutes or so there. 10-15 minutes. It is Sunderland 1, Fulham 2. Goalless in the other two games. Wolves still down to 10 men, but holding Crystal Palace to a goalless draw at the moment. And Forest against Liverpool raised the same scoreline. Goalless. With 10 to go. Jones trying to clear his lines. Chased by Dan and Doy on the rebound, but seen away. Throw into Liverpool deep in their own half. Can one of these two teams find a way through? Liverpool have had their fair share of late goals, either for them or against them this season. More recently against them than for them. They lost away at Bournemouth. They were 2-0 down, got all the way back to 2-2 and then went on to lose in the dying embers of that one. Lost late against Manchester City at home. They had 1-0 in that one. Threw away a 1-0 lead to lose 2-1. Kirkes there did everything he could to keep a hold of the ball as he was losing his balance. He gets the free kick. Bakwa again giving away the foul. It's one thing you can't throw at Milos Kirkes. He certainly goes for everything and gives us everything to try and keep the ball or even win the ball. Determined is a word I would say about Milos Kirkes. Konate wins his header. Chiesa with a flick. Taken in by Soboslai now. McAllister back to Federico Chiesa. Jones. Back it goes to Konate. Into Chiesa in the right channel. Just seen out there by Dominguez. And that's going to be a throw in. As Liverpool going to make more changes. Andy Robertson's ready and stripped, as well as Joe Gomez. So double change. Jones off for Gomez at right back. And I believe they will change the other fullback surely, as Andy Robertson's coming on and Milos Kirkes replaced. So a change at fullback as well for Liverpool. Kirkes and Jones off. Gomez and Robertson on. What can Liverpool produce here? They've got to throw in on the right hand side. Joe Gomez's first involvement is to take this throw. He's going to go long. Launches it into the area. Headed away only as far as Gravenberch, who tried to dig it out with something. Couldn't. And Gomez will win the throw in. His block. As it stands, with a draw here, Forest would stay 3 points above the drop zone, but couldn't really take and capitalise upon the two teams above them dropping, or well, one having not played and the other dropping points. Another long throw by Jones, or by Gomez, sorry. Van Dijk in the mix there as it's punched away by the goalkeeper Ortega. And there's a player down here for Forest, and Milenkovic is holding his head. A real clash of players in the mix there. See it here. Milenkovic caught by his own goalkeeper, actually, just Ortega was getting to the ball. 6 minutes to go. Another throw in to come from Liverpool. Another Joe Gomez launch. Another one. Third of the day. And he's only on the field about 30-40 seconds. Cleared away from Luca. Robertson swings it forward. Van Dijk there using his aerial ability if he could, but Sangari able to scramble. And Gibbs White clearing it as far as Bakwa. And Forest winning the throw in deep in their own half there. Nicely done. I've got to say, if Vitor Pereira comes away with something out of this, he'll be pleased. But we'll know that if they don't take advantage, Forest, and ends in a draw, they'll know that they should have took more from the game. considering their first half performance was so far ahead of Liverpool. Gomez wins his header. Bundled to the ground there was, I think that might have been McAllister. Nothing comes of it. Here comes Williams for Forest. Down the left-hand side against Gomez. Williams with a cross. Too far ahead of Allison. Gibbs White. Blocked by Robertson. Sangare. Struck wide. My goodness me. Beautiful ball by Nico Williams. Allison, full stretch, couldn't get near it. Drops to Gibbs White, who had a shot blocked by Robertson, and then Sangare's effort dragged wide of the left post. Two big chances for Forest. One blocked and one struck wide. Four minutes to go. Robertson launches it down the left side. Ekitike again, well muscled by Milenkovic. Picked up by Sangare. Down the right channel. Robertson beaten for pace by Bakwa. Ball in. Gomez just gets rid of it behind for the corner. Forest coming right back at Liverpool here. At the minute, fullbacks, the most involvement, the two subs there. Gomez and Robertson. Corner it is to Forest. Left hand side. The crowd inside the City ground trying to give their side that little extra advantage. To try and find that goal that's been struggling from both sides to find it this afternoon. Corner delivered in. Back post punched away by Allison. The ball dropped for Rio Gamoa, who was always well out seen there despite his efforts. Sangare trying to cross it, blocked by Rio Gamoa. And behind for another corner. Scott says Liverpool have missed. Weerts certainly have. Forest with another corner. 2.5 to go of the normal time. A footed delivery scooped to the back post. Kept alive. Drops to Ndoye. Ndoye's shot blocked by Konate. Konate again with a block against Luka that time. And so Boschlei cleared away by Rio Gamoa. And the back pass by Aina all the way back to Ortega. He launches it up the field, but taken down well by Gomez. Now finds Rio Gamoa. Pokes it back to Gomez. And seen how to play off Dominguez for a Liverpool throw. Time ticking away from both of these two teams to find a winner. So another Joe Gomez launch will come here from the right for the throw in. He's already thrown 3 from range. Here's another one. Near front post, away by Williams. Not down by Jones, or by Gomez, sorry. So Boschlei, Gomez trying to whip it in with his left foot. Blocked. Konate did well to battle for it back though. Ngamoa. Down the right hand channel. Clips it to the back post. Ekitike! What a save by Ortega! And it's gone in! Can you believe it? Off the back of McAllister's head. And Liverpool take the lead. In the most unorthodox of ways. Stefan Ortega's incredible save. Pounced upon by McAllister. And I don't think he knew much about it, Alexis McAllister. But it's a Liverpool goal that might have just stolen this from Vito Pereira and his Nottingham Forest team, who have really hung Liverpool out to dry a lot today. But again, it's Ngamoa. Never gives up on it. We see it here from the teenager. Breaks down against Nico Williams. Clips it to the back post. Perfect header by Ekitike. Great save by Ortega. Incredible. But it rebounds out. They try and clear it away for us with Ola Aina. And his clearance deflects off the back of Alexis McAllister. Unsided was Ortega. And you talk about a slice of luck. Liverpool have done very little in front of goal. Their best chance was 4 seconds before they scored. And Alexis McAllister knew nothing about it. But nonetheless, it's a Liverpool goal. And maybe that is a turning point. A slice of luck that again haunts Nottingham Forest. 89th minute. It's McAllister that's going to get it, although they're checking for a possible handball. Now this is a question mark. Where's the handball? Does it come off the hand of McAllister? Oh, looked like it come off the back of McAllister, but we see it again. It might come off his arm. His upper arm. And I think that should be disallowed by the rules of the law. If it does come off an arm, it should be disallowed. And delirium for the travelling Liverpool supporters might turn into more dismay. Paul Tierney is checking this, the VAR. And by the letter of the law, it should be handball and no goal. Anthony Taylor will announce the decision. And it's going to be disallowed. 0-0 it remains. And a crazy goal is a no goal. And can you believe... I can't believe that. The craziest of goals, but it's definitely not a goal. It comes off the hand of McAllister. Whether he meant it or not is completely irrelevant. By the letter of the law, if it does come off an arm, whether accidental or intentional, if it's a direct goal scorer, it cannot count. There is nothing that can be done about that. That's the rule of the law. And that's the rules. And that has disallowed this goal. McAllister claiming to come off his back, but by clear distinction it did come off the arm. No question about it. Forest celebrate like they've scored a goal. McAllister just receive an extra explanation from the referee, but we replay with a free kick for Forest. Back to 0-0 and in additional time. And maybe they've just saved their blushes there, Nottingham Forest. From a moment that very easily could have gone against them in the most embarrassing of ways, possibly. Might turn out to be something fruitful for them. Konate deflecting behind for a corner. Could this crowd believe they've got it in their hands to do what Liverpool thought they'd done to them? 3-1 at the city at Stadium of Light, by the way. Fulham have just added a third, and that's going to surely deliver victory for them on the road. Alex Iwobi with the third goal. 3-1 it is. So McAtee on for Gibbs White there, sub for Forest. In additional time, I don't even know how many minutes is on. They've not declared it to us, the officials. But 3 minutes are up of 90. It's up to the referee how many minutes we actually have. Corner delivered in, it's high. Back posts and comes all the way through. Is it kept in? Cross back and goal kick it will come. My goodness. What a mental end to this game. A goal has come at Sellers Park. Wolves with 10 men have been fighting to rescue a draw, but Crystal Palace might have just won it. Evan Gersund has got the goal in the 90th minute, and Palace looked like they're getting a home victory. A victory that would take them a decent distance away from the relegation zone. 10 points clear of West Ham if they claim victory, Palace. And would once again reassert Wolves are in the mire. 18 points adrift as it stands, with Forest drawing. 18 points adrift of safety with 11 games to go, and are a 6-game distance away from safety, if you want to equate it that way. Challenge by Gomez, drops for Sangari. He's got a hit in him, and he hit it wide again. Some claims that there's 5 added minutes, but not too sure about that. There's no declaration from the officials, so it's up in the air. It's when the referee blows the final whistle is when the game is over. But how crazy an ending to this game. A goal in a crazy way disallowed. Liverpool thought they'd won it. Won it they had not. Here is Allison. Kicking it long. The crowd want the whistle. Referee plays on. Forest have it back. Van Dijk heads clear. Plucked down by Dominguez. Picked up by Szoboszlai. Chiesa couldn't find it to Ngamoa, but picked up by McAllister. Now Rio Ngamoa. Dribbling his way through. Look at really nicely. Finds Robertson, who pokes it into the box. Murillo heads it away. And further away by Dominguez, but only as far as Gomez, who wins the throw-in. Off Dan and Doy. Will Liverpool have one more chance? Gomez will try with this long throw attempt again. 5 into the going into the 7th minute of added time. Of course, 1 or 2 of those was stopped due to the VAR check. Throw in taken by Gomez to Szoboszlai. Looking for any sort of chink of space as he whips it back post, headed across, cleared off the line, and forced in by Alexis McAllister again. Lightning does strike twice at the City Ground, and Alexis McAllister scores what will undoubtedly now be the winner for Liverpool. Denied moments ago by VAR. Well, VAR won't get involved in this one, or deny it this time, surely. Nico Williams with his head in his hands on the ground again. And Alexis McAllister forced it home after it was cleared off the line for the 2nd time in the last 5 or 6 minutes. So Szoboszlai waits and waits. Ball delivered in, or is there an offside here? Could lightning strike twice against Liverpool again? Goodness me, they couldn't do it again, surely. Ball delivered in, it's headed on by... I'm trying to say, is that... They're checking again, is it possible offside? Surely not. But it is Virgil van Dijk who gets the header, saved by Ortega, cleared off the line, and rebounded in by McAllister. Offside. It doesn't look good from the wide angle. They couldn't have done it again, surely. This would be the craziest way to not win a game ever. To have 2 late winners disallowed by VAR for offside. I have to say it looks like Van Dijk's offside. Or is it Ekitike that's definitely offside? But is Van Dijk the player that's just behind him? It looks like he might be. And the wait for a check by Paul Tierney goes on again. There's no way. And the goal stands. It is a winner. And Alexis McAllister won't have his hopes dashed again by VAR. Was it Ekitike that was offside? He weren't involved. See it again, and the clear distinction that Ola Aina's left small toe is what keeps Virgil van Dijk onside. That is unbelievably close. And my goodness me, that is surely a winning goal for Liverpool. I don't believe this. I genuinely do not believe this. And it's now, anywhere will do for Liverpool. Just get the game done, and they're in again, possibly. Aina cleared it off. Chiesa tried to keep it in play. It will be a Liverpool throw, actually. 100th minute here at the City Ground. It was a 99th minute winner that Liverpool scored to beat Forest the last time they beat them here. It looks like it will be a 97th minute winner. And it is! Victory for Liverpool on the road again. Alexis McAllister is the one that delivers it after 2 VAR checks, 1 disallowed, 1 given. Liverpool do come away with all 3 points. Talk about scraping it. And they just about nicked it. Alexis McAllister, the Argentinian, denied when he didn't know much about it for the first one. VAR disallowed it through handball. They got another chance, Liverpool, and despite all Forest's best attempts, McAllister's forced ball from the rebound of the Ortega save from Van Dijk's header is what delivers Liverpool a victory, and Van Dijk was onside by a mere whisker, and that is no understatement whatsoever. By a mere whisker. Final score at the City Ground in the most bizarre of ways. It finished Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 1. And how horrible it is for Vitor Pereira, and how electric it is for Arne Slot and his players as they push for Champions League football and are pushing one step closer. Wow. Just wow. That's mental. Mental what we've just seen. Still going at the Stadium of Light. It is 3-1 to Fulham, but they're trying to get something back in that game, are Sunderland. Palace have beaten Wolves by a goal to nil, so it's finished 1-0 there, and 1-0 to Liverpool at the City Ground. Unbelievable what we've just seen. I can't breathe. Right. Sunderland 1, Fulham 3 is into the final few minutes there. We'll confirm that scoreline for you in our late game between Spurs and Arsenal. We have to quickly get away as the game of the week is on the way very shortly. Spurs against Arsenal, 4:30 from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The North London derby is on the way very soon. Thanks for your company. Alexis McAllister gets the winner, and Liverpool get all 3 points. I've no voice left, but we'll see you in 20 minutes for the North London derby. Thanks for your company. See you again soon.